Just when you think that the Batman is over, keeps coming back into our lives. Now, I did say that on this channel I was going to cover everything Batman related from the movie. It still seems like there is more to come out for this film. There was a scene of the Joker in the movie that Matt Reeves had to take out for the final product, but they just released it online. I have seen stills from the video. I have not watched the video yet. I wanted to wait for this moment so it could be fresh in my mind and we can talk about it right after. So let's just get right into it. It's about 5 minutes long and then we'll talk about it for a bit. Okay. Oof. Looking.
Present. Almost our anniversary, isn't it?
There's a serial killer. I want your perspective.
First anniversary games, paper. What makes you think I come so cheap?
I thought you'd be curious.
You think I could offer this stuff?
Don't you?
You have pictures.
Man, he looks rough. Oof.
It's violence. It's so baroque. Oh, he likes little puzzles, doesn't he? So meticulous. Like he's been planning this his whole life. I know who he is.
Oh. Who is he?
He's a nobody. Wants to be somebody. The mayor, the commissioner. Yeah. He's got ambition.
You think his motive is political?
Oh, no. This is very, very personal. He feels these people have all wronged him. Probably goes way back. Unhealed wound, stolen lunch money.
Why is he writing to me?
Maybe he's a fan of yours? Or maybe he's got a grudge against you too. Maybe you're the main course. Any theories?
Not yet.
Really? You're normally so ahead of the curve. But something is different this time.
This is good.
This is very upsetting to you.
Let's get back to him.
Why? You're so much more fun.
I'm not here to talk about me.
What are you here to talk about?
I want to know how he thinks.
You know exactly how he thinks. Have you read this file? You two have so much in common.
Cool.
Masked Avengers. So he's even more righteous. Oh, are you afraid he makes you look soft?
You're wasting my time.
It's rough.
Okay. I'll tell you what I really think. I think you don't really care about his motives, whether he loves or hates you. I think somewhere deep down, you're just terrified. Because you're not sure he's wrong, huh? You think they deserved it, huh? You think they deserved it.
Wow. I'll say this right now. I had a little bit of doubt of Barry Keoghan as the Joker. I wasn't sure how much I was feeling it. Also, too, his laugh at the end of the movie, like, it's not the worst, but it wasn't the best. It wasn't something I was imagining. Although there has been a tendency over the years of completely lashing out and bashing actors and actresses who have been cast as specific roles. And then when the movie ends up coming out, we all realize how awesome they were. I mean, when Heath Ledger was cast as the Joker, he was getting ripped on left, right, and center. And he ended up possibly playing the best representation of him of all time. Ben Affleck, when he was cast as Batman, people hated it. And then Batman vs. Superman came out, and whether or not you like the movie, usually people like Ben Affleck as Batman. So I don't think we should sit here anymore and bash anybody who gets casted as these roles. They are actors and actresses in the first place. Look, I'm not saying they're always going to be perfect. I'm not saying sometimes they cast the wrong people, because they have. I mean, Barry's a good actor. He seems like he can really fit any role he's required to fit into, but it's already proving to me that it is what he's going to be doing. This Joker looks disgusting. I mean, disgusting as in he's not pretty to look at all. His fingers and his nails, like he's been through it. The back of his head looks like he's been burned to a crisp. He's got like warts and blisters all over his face, and he just looks destroyed. This is going to be a very gruesome Joker. I'm already getting that feeling. Now, when the scene came out, I was thinking to myself, you know, the movie's already so good. It probably was a good idea that we didn't get this scene in the movie. As I was watching it there, maybe about 3 minutes in, I started feeling like, oh, maybe you could have put this in the film. Maybe you could have gotten away with it without making the film feel like it was too much or too crammed with too many people. I do understand in a sense that even that little scene, the Joker is so monumental to the Batman character and the Batman arc and just honestly the Batman world. The minute you start to toy around with Joker, I think whoever is the villain of the Batman film almost gets a little foreshadowed by him. And even though with the scene at the very end of the film and this 5-minute scene here, that would have been only 6 minutes of screen time for the Joker, that still would have been enough to, you know, take eyes off of the Riddler for a lot of the movie and make the audience think about Joker, Joker, Joker. Now, I'm not saying everyone would have felt that way, but I could understand the thinking that brings with the Joker. I could understand why maybe people would say, man, like, yeah, the Riddler's cool. They did a good take on him, but I'm kind of just really focused on the Joker right now. That's the danger with the Joker, is the minute he is a focus, he is the focus. Everyone wants to know about him. But knowing me, huge comic book nerd, Batman fan, DC fan, if I was in charge of this project, I'd be like, nah, this got to be in the movie. This has to be in the movie. And maybe it's a good idea that it wasn't in the movie. Maybe that would be me just getting a little too excited. But regardless, in the movie or not in the movie, awesome. So very interesting that he mentions it's almost their anniversary. So it's almost been a year since the Batman has fought the Joker. This is not a Batman who will meet Joker in the future for the first time. And I'm sure in their second meeting, whether it be the next film or the film after, it's going to be a lot worse than the meeting they've previously had before this first Batman film. I think that is very bold to already make the Joker a threat to a Batman who's only 2 years into his crime-fighting career. But I also think that is really cool because we won't need to sit here and get too much of the origin story on how they met. You can simply just jump into, Joker escaped from Arkham, Batman goes stop him, and then you can continue the story from that point on. The entire dynamic of the scene as well, it made me feel like it was from The Killing Joke, where Batman goes to visit Joker in his cell and they're playing cards with one another. It did feel like they were simply having a conversation with one another, and I really liked that. I also like the vibe that the Batman gives off, realizing this man is a complete psychopath. If there is a word worse to describe how tormented and demented that the Joker is, he would use that word for him. But Batman still realizes that clearly he gets off on this stuff, serial killings or death in general. So Batman goes to the one person he would think that would be able to tell him what's the situation here. There is a part in Arkham Asylum, the video game, where Batman is running through the sewers and he gets contacted by Oracle. And they make a mention about how the Joker has like a notepad or something, and inside of it is like a picture of dead babies and stuff like that. And I mean, it's got ha 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 all over it. He's twisted in any way possible, and he loves that type of stuff. And if you go back to the video at 1:46, wait a couple seconds, there's a part where Joker is flipping through the files and he's looking at all the serial killings, the dead bodies, and the evidence, and he's giggling. He's laughing. It feels like he is going to be one of the scariest Jokers. He already looks terrifying, and I feel like he's going to act terrifying. We've had many Jokers over the years. Jack Nicholson was more of like a crime boss. Heath Ledger's was chaos and anarchy. Jared Leto's was not exactly sure what that one was. Joaquin Phoenix was a man with tons of mental and social problems. Barry Keoghan's Joker has to be different, of course. And I feel like this Joker is just a straight up mutilated man with an acquired taste of death. I also do think that he will be a little intellectual in the sense that he understands the mind of a killer. We all sit here and think murder is murder, death is death, you killed someone. But from his point of view, whereas it will be psychotic no matter what, he'll have a specific intellectual reasoning on why it's done and why people do it. I'm excited for this, guys. Like, this is looking really promising, and it looks like this Batman and this Joker are going to vibe together very well. This first film was already very dark. How dark is the next film going to be where he appears in it? And for all of the negative reviews that seem to oddly be consistent with one another, that the movie is too dark, it's not comical, or it isn't child friendly, imagine a second film with the Joker. You will not be able to bring your children to that film. If you already feel that this is not kid-friendly, which in a lot of ways the first movie is not, imagine how it'll feel with the second film. Which, by the way, this movie, or the world that Matt Reeves is building, has not been promoting a world for children, a world for comedy, a world for lightheartedness. It's never promoted that. Ever since they announced this, that was not the marketing scheme they were going for. But that's it, guys. I'm sure we'll hear some more details as time goes on. I'm sure this is going to be a hot topic for a little while. Batman sequel discussions, I'm sure, are already being discussed in the background. They've been being discussed even before the movie came out. It's just a matter of when we're going to start to hear things. I'm going to assume that the Batman sequel will probably be another 4 years out. So we have a lot of time to let the first film sink in, to let everything we've seen sink in, and we'll see what happens next. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this scene and what you think of Barry Keoghan as the Joker. I think it is very promising right now, and I do think that this looks terrifyingly great. But that is it for this one, guys, and just like always, until next time, I will talk to you all very soon.